Sponsored by MaximumMods.com. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to my video log series. This will be about a 4-part series in which we'll be water cooling this Cosmos 2 build for my friend. So first, what I'd like to do is just go over all the parts that I'll be using in the build as far as water cooling goes. We're going to go ahead and take a closer look. For the coolant, we'll be using the Mayhem's Pastel Blueberry Coolant. We really like the color blue, and has a system life of about 2 years, and includes all the inhibitors that your system needs for a long lifespan. Now we need to use distilled water to mix with our pastel blue coolant, so we'll be using the Mayhem's Ultra Pure H2O. Now for the fittings, we'll be using a variety of coolants, 1/2 inch inner diameter by 3/4 inch outer diameter fittings. These are straight compression fittings that I'm showing you here. And here are the other fittings that we'll be using. We'll be using a variety of 90-degree angle fittings, as well as some 45-degree angle fittings. For the fans that we'll be using on our 240mm radiator, we're going to be using the Corsair SP120 fans. These are high-speed, high-static pressure fans. Now for the reservoir, we'll be using a coolant reservoir. Now this reservoir comes in 3 parts that you could choose to your liking. For the body, I went with a 60mm outer diameter by a 200mm in length. So this is the base that we'll be putting on the tube, the main body, and it comes with a variety of inlet and outlet choices. You can see there's about 2 on either side, so you have quite a bit of options there, and as far as how you want your inlet and where you want your outlet. And we also have a top that we'll look at later on in the video. Now to mount our reservoir in the case, we'll be using these AlphaCool reservoir clips. Now later on in the video series, I'll show you how to actually mount these clips in the case. We'll be drilling some holes. But this is basically the design of the clip. It has a little latch in the front, which you open up and you slip the reservoir and it holds it very securely inside, and you close the latch back down on the reservoir. Very heavy duty, and will do the job just right. Now for our CPU block, we'll be using the EK Supremacy. Very nice block, and we'll go ahead and look at that later on in the video on how I install that actually on the motherboard. Now for the GPU blocks, we got the Watercool Heat Killer GPU blocks. Now he also just went ahead and got the fully nickel plated blocks, and these things are just beautiful. Now he is running 2 670s, so we also have a second one here as well. For the pump, we'll be using the new Coulant's PMP 500. Has great head pressures and a good flow rate, so it's going to be good for if you got a lot of blocks and radiators that you'll be having to push your fluid through. For radiators, we'll be using Coulant radiators. Now this one's a 360mm radiator, and here we have our 240mm radiator. Now this is going to give us plenty of heat dissipation for our 2 graphics cards and our CPU that we'll be using it to cool. Now for the rest of the fans, he went ahead and chose the Cooler Master Sickle Flow 120s. Now this is his personal choice, this wasn't my opinion, but these are good fans. They run about 2000 RPM, and they do move a lot of air, so these are going to be good nonetheless. To power all these fans, he went ahead and decided to get the NZXT Sentry LX. This is a dual bay fan controller. It displays a lot of information. You could hook up a lot of sensor probes, and it'll tell you the speed and RPM of the fans, and you can control each one independently. Now to light up the case, you went ahead and got these cold cathodes. You got 2 12-inch tubes and a 4-inch tube. Now for the case, we got the Cooler Master Cosmos 2. This is a monster full tower case. It's going to be good for water cooling, and I can't wait to work with it. And last but not least, we have the tubing that we'll be using. This is Duralene 1/2 inch inner diameter and 3/4 inch outer diameter. Now I've had really good luck with this tubing, and it's very cheap, so I went ahead and decided to get this for his build. And that about wraps up my first part of the series. Now again, I'll be having 3 or 4 more parts, so please stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, comment, favorite, do all that good stuff. It really helps me out, you guys. I really appreciate it. Also, be sure to check out MaximumMods.com. He's a fairly new site, but he's going to be constantly adding new products, computer-related and modern-related products, so be sure to go and check that out. Again, I'd like to thank all you guys for watching, and have a good day.